You know, used to in the old days when you go to Gulf Shores, man, I can remember getting down to that Gulf Shores turnoff right there.
Yeah.
BP station, something else now. Pop
You're
over
going to
that
tell on
top
yourself.
10. You know, it wouldn't take less than an hour. You'd be there. Now it's like 2.5 hours from there to there.
Well, you
So
needed
much
to have gone
traffic.
when we went. There was no lines. The longest we waited for a table was 10 minutes. And we went out every night. It was crazy.
I'm talking about driving through Foley and all those places.
Once you get off the parkway.
50 minutes yesterday.
Really?
No
That's
traffic.
the quickest.
What time do you go through there?
We left at like noon.
Okay.
Yeah, coming out and then going in last week, same thing.
So basically, the big crowds are over for Gulf Shores.
Yeah, the
If we go on
season-
Labor Day, it'll be down.
Yeah, be even more. This week, they told me, was the first week of the lower prices, the non-summer prices. So fewer people, but they were telling me, a buddy of mine owns a business down there. He said they are at 100% occupancy in that 16-week season. I even saw a new condo being built, a new high-rise going up. I didn't think they
Really?
were building anything on West Beach, of all
Yeah.
places. It was crazy.
But we were able to get the 18th floor, so I mean, we lucked up.
Now, where are y'all staying? Y'all are
Beach
still
Club.
out on Fort Morgan.
Yeah, it's
You
so
just gonna get out there and
secluded
just-
and there's no one there and you
just
feel like
stay
you
at
have
the
the
beach
beach all to
That's
yourself.
just your thing, huh?
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you got
No
How
crowds,
often we go, you know, it's a little expensive, but hey, what?
layout.
Well, a man of your
What's credit
stature.
for? What's credit for?
What a man of your
What's credit
stature.
for?
I mean,
Charge.
What are you talking about? What are you complaining about?
this is kind of a hot button with me. It drives me crazy.
Careful
First,
now.
I've been very, very blessed. I have two daughters, 25 and 19, and not once in their entire life have I had to tell them to turn around and go change clothes before they left the house. That's a credit to their mom. Their mom's done a great, great job. Well, I need more mamas like that. 'Cause we
You got
some
an
girls-
eyeful at the beach, didn't you?
Yeah, and it wasn't just the
little
kids, the
girls.
14-year-old daughter, it was their mama. Can you just put some clothes on?
What's wrong with you?
Just put some clothes on.
I'm sure it depends what the
Just
mama
put
looks
some
like.
clothes
What's
on.
wrong with you?
Come on, Jamie.
My bag that I pack for the beach is like this.
What? I mean, a 14-year-old girl walking around like that?
that's true.
What is she going to grow
Yeah.
up to be?
What a mama look like?
Scary.
You ought to know. I mean, it just drives me crazy. And we used to have this,
They don't look
Hey,
forward
there we
to
are at the
Hey,
beach now.
Brad Golson.
Yeah,
Put
woohoo.
that down.
is that Warmat?
No.
Fluker.
That's Fluker.
Fluker, okay.
That's him in the middle.
Golly.
Okay.
I always knew he was big.
He is a very big,
I'm just
big
glad you
man.
noticed him. Usually people don't.
But I mean, what value system are they teaching their daughters? They're teaching their daughters your looks are all that matter. And what happens when gravity takes over? Because it's going to. Looks don't last. I mean, we see it.
No, they
That lasted me
fade.
for a pretty good while.
Yeah, but you're the
They
exception to the
fade.
rule. It's because you've been riding that bike for 9 weeks.
It's okay for boys or men, but for girls it fades quickly.
Well, I mean, it was just driving me crazy. So that was one thing. And the other thing is, we had great service every restaurant we went to. Everything was great. I went to a store yesterday, and I won't even call which one it was, to buy a cooler. This is like 10 o'clock yesterday morning. There were 4 people in line ahead of me. The girl running the cash register never opened her mouth.
Yes,
Not
I've seen
once. The 4 people in front of me and me. She just had the screen turned around to show what the price was.
Mm-hmm.
She never opened her mouth.
So make them talk to you. I'm always like, oh, hi, how are you? Are you having a good day? Just annoy them and make them talk to you.
That's a good idea. I'm going to start trying that.
Mess
Hey, I
with
tell you
them.
something you ought to get on, and I'm surprised you ain't already
Because
mentioned.
they can't even say hello and be
It's
friendly.
along the same line, this transgender deal now going on.
Yeah.
Target has just changed where there's no separating boys and girls' toys.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when was it
Come on, is there
okay
that
not to be
many
a boy or a
transgender kids
girl?
out there?
You know, it's just the bowing to pressure. But I think what's going to be interesting to watch over the next few years is you can't undo nature. You can't undo what God made you to be. You can try all you want to. There's been experiments after experiments of them putting boys and girls in a room with no supervision but just different toys, you know, dolls or trucks or whatever, and the little boys and the little girls went exactly to the toys that you would expect them to. I mean, you are hardwired. Number one, there's no such thing as transgender. Transgender just means you're the ultimate narcissist. You have decided, I'm going to be what I'm going to be, because if you look up the definition of it, all it says is what you self-identify as. Well, that makes as much sense as that chick that used to work for the NAACP who said she identified as
She's now
black.
black. Yeah.
it's just the ultimate in narcissism. But they're not going to be able to
That's
undo.
what's happening to society,
Well, it's forcing-
leading into something you just talked about.
It's forcing you to have to explain these things to your children, and I'm sure they're
Yeah.
got to be confused.
I'm very glad my kids are grown, and I'm
I
not
know, it's
having a
scary.
6-year-old to have to explain what that means.
Well, that's
Oh, we had a word for them in school.
that do not repeat it. It's ugly. Which I'm not saying be ugly and hateful to people, but you don't have to change somebody's
I just
mind
can't believe
about.
that society
if
is
they wanna be a little boy, be a little
changing
boy.
that much.
Why? Go back and read the Old Testament. We're not changing. We're just regressing. Go back and
We're just going along now because if you say something about somebody, all of
politically
a sudden
incorrect.
you're a racist.
Well, I'm not a Donald Trump fan, but I will say this for
I
him.
am. Roy is.
Well, if he'll ever give me
Because
some
he's opening his
specifics of
big
what he's going
mouth.
to do except tell me how great he is, then maybe I could get a
Who
fan.
cares right now, though?
I need to know how
I
you're going
mean,
to do it.
everybody, okay, we talk about that. All the number one politicians are complaining he's eating up their free airtime to talk about their agenda. The agenda ain't nothing. You got to get out there to the voters and get out there.
But eventually you have to tell me how you're going to do
It's
it.
all
See what a
smoke and
wussy
screen right
acted
now.
like? Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
I hope he beats Hillary. Did you see what a wussy acted like when the Black Lives Matter?
Yeah.
He just stand over like they took his. Trump said he'd never allow him to take his microphone.
Well, I mean, Trump can say that because he's got 47 bodyguards jumping around him that'll take up for him. I
Maybe
mean,
Sanders needs to get that.
it's one thing to say it. It's
People are
another.
out of control.
It's a long time
And I
before the
think that's what
election.
Trump has tapped into. But eventually, even
Well,
Trump
it's gonna go out,
has
yeah.
to give some specifics of how he's going to do it. The smartest thing he did, I said before the debate, if he could go without sticking his foot in his mouth,
Well, he didn't.
and he didn't.
He didn't.
And
Megyn Kelly was wrong attacking him like that.
well, it wasn't just her. I mean, all of the questions were against her.
One
were against
last
him.
comment, 'cause I got to go. What if Hillary Clinton gets in a debate and they ask her about Bill's past infidelities? Is that fair game?
Of course it is.
It is, it
But will
should
they?
be.
No, because they're scared to death of don't upset.
She's going to drop
Hillary.
out before that anyway.
You think so?
I am not a Hillary
You heard it
fan.
here first. He said Hillary Clinton
because
will
she's
drop
got
out.
top secret emails, and I'm an FSO,
About to
and that's
come
like a
out.
major deal.
All
That's a
right,
big
all right,
deal.
Deke. See you in a couple
Good-
weeks.
yep,
then, man.
I'll be back. Good to
we
see
gotta
you
take
guys.
a break for the day. See y'all tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, they just said that she's got.